I'm not going to lie. The biggest story coming out of COTA isn't just Tyler Reddick winning again. It's the cheating noise that exploded right after it. Because Tyler Reddick didn't just win at Circuit of the Americas. He made history by becoming the first Cup driver to open a season with 3 straight wins. And hey, if you're a real NASCAR fan, subscribe to RACECAR Nation Report for daily RACECAR news and updates. Help me hit my first 500 subscribers. Drop a sub right now. It means everything. And almost instantly, a chunk of the online conversation turned away from the drive itself and into conspiracy talk about 2311. The lawsuit settlement, and whether NASCAR is somehow letting this happen. The actual race result is real. Reic beat Shane Van Gisbergen by nearly 4 seconds at COTA, and he left Austin with a massive 70-point lead in the standings. So today, that's what we're breaking down. We're going through the conspiracy chatter that started flying the second the checkered flag dropped. Some of the actual accusations fans were posting. Why a few media voices fed that mood while others completely shredded it. Tyler Reddick himself basically revealed about how he'd beat SVG, and why the real truth here may be a lot less dramatic than the internet wants it to be. Then we'll finish with what all of this means heading into Phoenix. This isn't just one random win. 2311 came into 2026 after an ugly legal fight with NASCAR in 2025, a fight that ended in a December settlement. Then the new season starts. Tyler wins Daytona, then Atlanta, then COTA. That kind of streak was always going to get people talking. Add Michael Jordan's team, a recent lawsuit, and a fast start that nobody in the garage can match right now. That's where the first wave of conspiracy claims came from. The basic idea spreading online was simple. 2311 settles with NASCAR. Then suddenly Tyler Reddick starts the year 343. So some fans decided the settlement must have included something shady. One post said, "Was this part of the settlement agreement with 2311 and NASCAR? Boring." Another flat out said, 2311 is clearly cheating and NASCAR is allowing it. Tyler Reddick is not that good of a driver. Something definitely happened with the lawsuit. Another read, settle the lawsuit. Bam. 3 wins in the first 3 races of the 2026 NASCAR season. I'm sure it's just coincidence. And maybe the strongest one was, it is obvious this is part of the settlement. There is no way in this day and age of engineering any one driver has this type of advantage over 3 races. That's not just normal fan outrage. That's a full narrative. You can even see both sides of that fight in some of the posts. One user mocked it with, "Here comes the 'this was part of the settlement' conspiracy theorists." And Alan Cavanagh summed up how loud it got by saying multiple conspiracy theorists have called the Sirius XM RACECAR Nation Report post-race show, claiming something's fishy. Apparently 2 wins was cool. 3 is just too much. That right there tells you the real mood after COTA. This wasn't just a couple of random replies. It got big enough that media people were openly reacting to it. And I get why that feeling hits some fans, even if the conclusion doesn't hold up, because from a pure storyline angle, it almost sounds too perfect. Michael Jordan's team settles the legal war with NASCAR, then his driver comes out and starts rewriting the record book. That's the kind of sequence that makes sports fans suspicious, even when nothing illegal is actually there. But this is where the conversation gets way more important because some actual RACECAR Nation Report voices completely rejected that conspiracy line. One of the strongest responses came from Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi. And honestly, this is where the bombshell truth part of the story starts to settle in. The people who actually cover this sport closely think the conspiracy theory falls apart the second you apply any logic to it, Gluck said. By the way, I don't know what people are referencing talking about this conspiracy. They won the lawsuit. So now everybody thinks it's somehow rigged that 2311 won 3 in a row. It has to be one of the stupidest things. Logically, I shouldn't even try to apply logic, but think about this. Let's say NASCAR was like, all right, they won the lawsuit and we're going to give them some advantage. Let's have them win the first 3 races of the year. That won't be super obvious or anything. That quote matters because it goes right at the heart of the theory. If NASCAR wanted to secretly help a team, making it this obvious would be the dumbest possible way to do it. And Bianchi piled on in a way that made the whole thing sound even more ridiculous. He joked, "You've got to go back further than that. You've got to be like, we're settling this multi-million-dollar lawsuit in December. One last thing, one last amendment, we're going to add in there for 2,311. We're not just going to win the Daytona 500. We want Daytona, Atlanta, and COTA. NASCAR is like, seriously? And MJ's like, I work in threes. That's how I do my business. That's funny, but it also makes the point. The theory sounds dramatic until you actually say it out loud. Gluck went even further and basically called out the contradiction in NASCAR fandom. He said NASCAR fans are always like, NASCAR can't even get this right. And then they turn around and go, NASCAR rigged 2 superspeedways and a road course. All the things that would have had to happen for that to work. Come on, that may be the best summary of this whole thing.
Down.
And honestly, there's another practical reason the cheating narrative doesn't really land. Tyler's COTA win looked like a legit, controlled, high-level road course performance. He won the pole, led 58 laps, and when SVG closed late, Reic still maintained a gap and won by 3.944 seconds. This wasn't some weird fuel mileage lottery, a mystery caution, or a fluke restart where the leader got lucky. He controlled the race and beat the road course king straight up. That's also why the Tyler Reddick reveals bombshell truth angle is really about the way he described the drive itself, because what he said after the race did not sound like a guy hiding some advantage. It sounded like a guy managing pressure. Amid all the cheating allegations, this is what Reic said after the race. I think for me, in the heat of the battle, it's like, all right, I've got to find a way to hold off Shane. But as I started to pull away, it's like, all right, there's a lot on the line here. Hit your marks. Don't be a hero. You don't have to win by 8 seconds. No mention of any cheating. It's what these allegations are all about. But this is the truth fans probably don't want, because it's not spicy enough. He didn't reveal some scandal. He revealed discipline. He beat SVG by staying calm, protecting the tires, not overdriving the car, and refusing to get baited into making the one mistake SVG usually waits for. And not at all by cheating. Kenny Wallace went after the conspiracy crowd hard. He summed up the claim sarcastically. 2,311, they sue NASCAR, and NASCAR lets them win everything. Then followed it with, did you make it through school? Did some of you make it through high school? Or did you go to the Black Helicopter Conspiracy School? And then he made the central point. Tyler Reddick truly wins the race all by himself on his own talent. And he won all 3 races on his talent. Now, whether you like Kenny's tone or not, the broader argument is solid. Tyler didn't win 3 identical races the same way. Daytona was chaos survival. Atlanta was strategy, positioning, and late race opportunity. COTA was pace and precision. Those are 3 different track types. 3 different styles of execution, and that actually makes the rig theory weaker, not stronger. Tyler Reic's dominance is now a serious points problem for the field. With the 2026 format placing heavier value on wins, his 3 straight victories have put the 45 car in attack mode early, while everyone else is already chasing. The numbers back that up. He leaves COTA with 186 points. Bubba Wallace is second with 116, and the gap is 70 after only 3 races. And that's why this next part matters so much. The actual truth behind the alleged scandal is not some hidden NASCAR deal. It's that 2,311 is fast. Tyler is executing. I saw, and the new structure makes a fast start feel even more suffocating than it used to. That's why rivals are uneasy. Not because they have proof of cheating. Because if this keeps going, they'll be buried in points before the season properly settles in. Now, all of that turns the conversation straight toward Phoenix. And this is where the pressure goes from huge to historic. If Reic wins again next week, he becomes the first Cup driver since Jimmy Johnson in 2007 to win 4 straight races. That's why this is no longer just a hot streak story. It's now a legacy pace story. And that's where the tension changes again, because winning 3 in a row gets attention. But winning 4 in a row puts you into a much rarer club. The history here is brutal too. A lot of drivers get to 3 and stall out before 4. That's why Phoenix becomes the perfect pressure test. Reic is red hot, but the sport has a way of reminding everybody how hard it is to keep stacking wins once the target gets this big. And Reic himself sounds like he knows that. Even after COTA, his mindset was not, we've got this. It was more like, keep the car under you, Keep hitting the marks and don't get carried away. That's what makes him dangerous right now. He's not driving like a guy chasing headlines. He's driving like a guy trying not to waste the fastest car in the field. So if you're asking what the real takeaway is from this whole alleged cheating deal, here it is. The internet is chasing a conspiracy because domination makes people uncomfortable. But the more believable story is that Tyler Reddick is simply putting together one of the sharpest 3-race starts the sport has ever seen. And if he goes out and wins Phoenix too, this whole debate is only going to get louder. So now I want your take. Are fans just overreacting because 2,311 is suddenly untouchable? Or do you think this early dominance is going to keep feeding the conspiracy crowd no matter what Tyler does? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more NASCAR breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe to RACECAR Nation Report. Stay locked in, because the Phoenix race could turn this from a controversy into a full-blown historic moment. Good luck with your 500 subscribers.